Laszlo vows to keep flying after nearly getting fried in the not-so-friendly skies.
These are the astonishing true stories of real people who faced the ultimate danger and lived to tell about it. Join us next time for more of the world's most amazing videos.
Good evening, fellow Ambazonians. As you join the program or the show, please endeavor to share, to tag, or to invite a friend. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight we have a lot of interesting questions that we have to be discussing concerning the Southern Cameroon, so the Ambazonian Carbon Revolution. Ladies and gentlemen, feel free to make your suggestions. Ladies and gentlemen, feel free to ask a question, questions that can guide us so that we can move forward. We are open to your corrections with constructive criticism. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to start by asking the first question to Lady Casey. Lady Casey, we wish to ask you this simple question. There's a lot going on in the revolution, but what is the impact of false propaganda? What is the effect, the impact of false propaganda at this stage of the Southern Cameroon's revolution? Thank you.
Thank you very much for that question. First of all, propaganda is a specific selected information to promote a cause or a political point of view. So far, we have not used propaganda in this revolution to promote our freedom quest. To the best of my view, we have not maximized that aspect of our revolution. And they've been, various propagandas which somehow have been adverse to our freedom quest. And the impact has meant that we have exaggerated propaganda which is not necessary, and that has made the enemy more prepared, more calculated. The enemy has, because of the exaggerated propaganda, it has given the enemy more time to prepare, giving the enemy a higher expectation of who they are fighting. So they are more armed because we exaggerate our propaganda, because we exaggerate the information we disseminate. So that's one of the impacts of exaggerated propaganda or false propaganda, as you put it. And again, I will stress that it is not healthy or good for this revolution at all for us to put propaganda out there that is not consistent with our freedom quest. Exaggerating propaganda has another way. It gives the enemy, for example, if an incident happened somewhere and in a village where there are people in that village, and you say 40 gendarmes were killed and probably there was just 5. People in that village will be wondering, in that community will be wondering, where did they get their numbers from? Those type of propaganda is not good for the revolution, because you give these people that we are not serious. We are not serious on what we are doing, or we don't understand the fight. I always talk about understanding our fight. It is very important that we understand the fight and use propaganda to the best of our freedom fight. To the best of our freedom fight. So this false and exaggerated propaganda, it's not healthy. We need to get organized. We need to organize a team of people who reason, who think about the impact of the information or the message they put out there on the revolution. How does it make, because our propaganda is supposed to be of great consequence. What is the point putting a propaganda out there if it doesn't make the enemy shake? If it doesn't give the enemy, put the enemy on the edge, or wonder what we are on about, or wonder what we are up to? We should make propaganda that have great impact. That is only when it is useful, it is necessary for the revolution. So creating propaganda that the enemy will look at us like we are joking, or the world will look at us like we're probably not sure what exactly we want. No, that is not what we should be doing, because it confuses those. It instead help to increase those who don't want to join the fight. That's another impact of false propaganda. Because if, for example, people in say a locality have been for the revolution, and we're putting out information out there for something that happened within their community that is completely not true, what impression do we want to leave with those people? How that would discourage them more, because they have to endure a lot in this revolution. Say in ground zero or in their villages, they have to endure a lot. So how would that encourage them? How would that keep them motivated? So false propaganda is a no for me. It is absolutely unnecessary. If for one, firstly, if a propaganda is not going to have great consequence, if it's not going to morally and psychologically motivate the fighters, motivate the Southern Cameroon's freedom fighters, then it's absolutely unnecessary. If a propaganda is not going to be of great consequence, that will put the enemy on the edge, that will create fear for the enemy, it is absolutely unnecessary. So we should think, we should evaluate, and this can only be accurate if we understand the fight that we are fighting. If we understand the fight, then there are some propagandas we have been propagating recently that is really damaging to the revolution, and it is time for us to stop. It is time for us to stop and put the people's wish first before our individual aggrandizement. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Comrade Lady Jesse. I want to talk to our viewers out there. It is the program Amba Echoes. Tonight we have a lot of important things we are discussing. We are open to your corrections, to your suggestions, to your questions. Ladies and gentlemen, we also want to see us join. Please be able to share the links and encourage many people to join us, because we're discussing a lot of things that are very pertinent for the revolution at this point and at this stage, and there is no going back. So, Comrade Jojo, can you talk to our audience out there? What is the effect or the impact of false propaganda? I call it fake propaganda or counterfeit propaganda on this revolution. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much for that question. Our sister has said a lot of things, a lot of interesting things, but what I would like to add is this. First of all, propaganda is giving a false impression about a situation. Propaganda is telling partial truth, which is very, very dangerous. As Alexander Pope puts it, a little knowledge is a dangerous thing. If you mix a bit of truth with lies, big fat lies, it has a very, very, very negative impact. And what I would like to say is that La République du Cameroon has been using propaganda effectively. One of the biggest propaganda that they have used throughout this revolution is the lies that they told about the whereabouts of our leaders. They claim that they are keeping our leaders. That is the greatest propaganda that they are using, that they have used in this revolution. And unfortunately, it has affected a lot of people, because people tend to believe in such lies. And because they believe in such lies, some people are demoralized because of it. That is a very huge propaganda. Again, another propaganda that I've been using, like recently, I saw a picture on social media. They are displaying a boy that they are supposed to have killed, who they claim is an Amba fighter. This is huge propaganda, because our fighters will not come to the public to attack people. They come in an organized way. They understand exactly what they are doing. They understand the terrain. Before they launch an attack, they have investigated the terrain, and analyze and assess the situation before they come out. So if La Republique, they kill a civilian, an unarmed civilian, then come out and show the picture and saying that you're coming to fight without training, that is a big propaganda, because if you look at the pictures, you see that they actually staged the whole thing, then they dressed up the guy in the way that they wanted the guy to appear, which is propaganda. And again, people fell for that, which is false. Then again, the latest one is this so-called attack of the convoy of the military that their so-called governor, the governor that was going to install the so-called SDO in the BLM. I have never seen a place where a journalist will be giving pictures of live activity, live shooting in the air. That is big false propaganda. Unfortunately, we are falling for that. These are certain things that we should watch every picture with a pinch of salt. Every information we get, we should analyze the information, we should examine the information, we should investigate the information before we start to divide it or before we start to giving our opinion about it. And this is really affecting the people very much. And that's a propaganda again about that they claim that our leaders are with them in Yaoundé have shifted our focus from Nigeria, where we should actually be focusing, because our leaders were adopted in Nigeria, and that is where our focus should be. But they have succeeded in shifting the focus of most people from Nigeria, from Nigeria to Cameroon, which shouldn't be so. And so we should take back our focus there. So that these are some of the negative parts, but then they are playing the game very well. Unfortunately, too, for us, like our sister said, I'm not going to repeat some of the things that we say. We shouldn't exaggerate. At least we should be truthful in every information that we put out to the public. Because what we are trying to do, we are trying to discredit La Republique. And we cannot be trying to discredit La Republique by telling lies. Because if we tell lies or we exaggerate a situation, then people, like our sister said, the public will not trust us. And if the public do not trust us, then they will not be fully engaged in the revolution. And if they're not fully engaged in the revolution, then we're not going to succeed. But again, unfortunately, we are using propaganda against each other. Like you see, people will just come up and I'll call this like the ADF will come out and say, I've been briefed. They say, we've done this, we've done this. Those are the type of things that we do not want to see in this revolution. Because one, we are promoting your image. This revolution is not about a particular person. This revolution is not about a particular group. This revolution, we've been saying it on this program over and over again, and we'll keep on saying it until it gets into people's head. This revolution is about the people of Amba land. It is about our brothers and sisters who are suffering back home. It's about the liberation of our country. And most people, about 80% or 90% of the people don't care how they get to Boya or who takes them to Boya. All they are concerned about is getting to Boya. And so for us to be using false propaganda to project our image because we want to give the impression that we are so significant, we're important, is not helping this cause. These are the things that we should stop. If we are carrying out activities back home, we should be saying that the Amba Force or the Amba foot soldiers, that is all we should be talking about. We should forget about the divisions, the Tigers or ATF or whatever, all those type of groups. Yes, the groups are there and they are very, very good. But then if we are carrying out operations back at home, the operation should be a collective operation. Even if it is one group that carries out the operation, the credit should go to the people of Amaland. The credit should go to every fighter back there. Because I believe that for them to be successful in their activities back home, they have to share intelligence, they have to cooperate. You can be, say, in Batibo and share intelligence to something that is about to happen in the BLM. And so if the people in the BLM carry out an action on the ground, the credit should be to the ground forces of Amberland and not to any particular group. So all this type of propagandas that is aim of promoting a particular group is not helping us. It's not healthy for the revolution because it is tearing the people apart. And lastly, so I would like to say that we should forget about selfishness. because selfishness is actually killing. Selfishness is only going to destroy us because we can only do this together. In as much as I like our sexual communication, his slogan that we either live free or die. I like this slogan very much because I'm prepared to give my life for this revolution. But then I also believe that we can only do this together. Together we are better. And so if we want to be together, we should stop discrediting people and trying to project ourselves like the good people, like the only people who are fighting this fight. Everybody in their own small way is participating in this revolution. And every little thing that anybody does in this revolution counts. Because at the end of the day, the victory for our revolution will be a collective victory for everybody and not because of a particular group. And so we should actually stop this. We should demonstrate to the world that we can be a people and we can unite and we can work together as a team. I think that's the last thing I have to say. Hello? Mr. Penn, are we all right? Fiska, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Well, I think Comrade Dora is having some technical issues.
Yeah, maybe if you have another point, we just continue rather than keep the people in suspense. If you have another point to add, then we may add it. So before she comes back.
Yeah, you have said most of the things. I mean, we need everybody on board. We need everybody on board. And I like the point where you talk more on the propaganda, on how the enemy has been using propaganda and persuading us to believe that we are suffering too much or they are winning. We shouldn't give the enemy anything to celebrate. We shouldn't give the enemy anything to claim victory over. When they have finally convinced us, like the whereabouts of our leaders, we should not give them that chance. We should not give them that victory to feel they managed to persuade us. Like you said, we should critically analyze every information, especially before we take it in. We should always analyze information.
Yeah, again, and if I have to say anything, we should be. It seems as if most people up to this point who've been in this revolution for almost 2 years now. But it seems as if there are still some people who still do not understand what we are fighting about, what this revolution is all about. True. Some people, they take this revolution as if it is a game. Some people they take it as it's a money-making activity.
Some people think it's an entertainment, it's a celebrity or some kind of reality show where they are seeking for hits or for scoops or of what is making also news buzz. It's sad that we play with serious things like fighting for a freedom, like our revolution. And it's a pity. But one thing I'm confident of is that we are growing up slowly but surely. But it's costing us far too much for taking so much time to understand that this fight depends on us And we have to have a full understanding of the enemy, have to have a full understanding of the fight for us to strategize and to attack the enemy. If we don't practice, if we don't train ourselves, open our mind to be able to think broad and wide about the fight, about the freedom quest, and how far we have come and what we need to do to get to where we are going. Then we'll keep turning around and around in the same spot and falling for any wind of news that is flying around, whether credible or not, because we are thinking it's a breaking news revolution. When they say breaking news, everybody runs to it. It's not a breaking news revolution. You know, there is so much to do in this revolution. There is so much to do to put this revolution out there, and we cannot allow, because what we have allowed with the thing is that there's so many ghost profiles of those who do not support the revolution. Because what I understand is that they will come, act as if they are with us, share our story, share our plight. After when we give them attention, they start creating confusion amongst us. And because we are not critical enough, or we don't take the time to research or investigate trend of activities of such individuals, we allow them to create chaos amongst us. Because there's one thing I know and I believe, that if you are busy in this revolution, there's so much you won't have a time for. There's so much to do. I mean, I'm saying now, anybody who is for the restoration of Southern Cameroon are not sure what to do or how to contribute, not only financially. I have so much work. If you don't know what to do, inbox me and I will give you assignments. There is so much to do in this revolution because we tend to pay attention to too much distractions. And when we get distracted, the enemy is winning. We cannot give the enemy that luxury. We do not have that time to give the enemy that breathing space. We need to be in their faces. They need to know we mean business this time. They need to know we are not here for joke. We know what we want. And independence of Southern Cameroon, now known as Ambazonia, it is what we will settle for. Anything less is a mirage, and we were not settling for mirage. So everybody for Southern restoration of independence should get busy, should get involved, doing something to push forward this revolution. There's just far too much to do. Research, investigate, understand the fight, and contribute wherever and wherever you can, because it will take all of us. No one individual is capable of doing this alone. It will take all of us to fight for our freedom, fight for our identity, fight for our socio-cultural and political state, because we cannot continue to remain in slavery, be oppressed people in our own very rich land. So we have to get together and continue to fight. And we have to come together and fight for our freedom.
Yeah, while we wait for Dora, I think I know one more question that was on the list, because I don't know the question. So Dora is on the list. Is how important is it for us to Is she
Yes.
back? Is she back?
No.
Anyway, I don't know how we're going to go about this, because she's a coordinator and she has all the questions, and without the questions.
Yes, I can read the next question.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, she's back.
Okay. She's just come back. So
yeah, she's back.
Yeah. Our viewers, we are very sorry for that technical hitch. So just bear with us. We're going to come back to you.
Yeah.
I can I can see the coordinator trying to arrange her stuff, so please be patient.
Yes, I'll read the next question. The next question is...
she's there now. She's just joined back. She's there now. She's trying to rejoin us. I can see her. So let her come back.
She wanted us to...
Yeah, she's there now.
Comrade Dora, can you hear us?
Yeah, thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, I apologize for the technical hitch. And I was just going through, I don't know if you took question 2 already.
No, you can go to question 2.
Okay, thank you so much. And so our comrades out there, apologize for the technical hitches. Ladies and gentlemen, at times man may propose, but God may dispose. I want to proceed to the second question. It is, what is your comment about cohabitation for 57 years? We've been here for 57 years with La Republique. What are the impacts of this cohabitation politically, religiously, psychologically, economically? What is really the effect of that cohabitation on the average Southern Cameroonian's mind? I want to put this question to Comrade Lady Casey. Can you say something about that?
Thank you very much. Being with La Republique for 57 years has had a cultural impact. I would like to talk more on the cultural aspect, because if we noticed, our local Ambazonia cultural music, dances, songs, and hardly played on national TV. That's La République du Cameroon. So they have shoved down our throats music from Douala and Bikutsi, Yaoundé, and all of that. You don't hear you hardly see a musician or from Amazonia being promoted. So we have got used to dancing to the Amakosa, dancing to Bikutsi, and we have innocently enjoy this moment. So it has had a really, really bad effect on us. So please, could you excuse me?
Yes. Hello. Yeah, Comrade Jojo, can you just go ahead and really make some amendments to that? What is really the impact of this cohabitation on our political, economic, religious, and other milieux of life on the average-minded Southern country? Can you say something? Thank you. Comrade Jojo.
Well, I would like to answer that question from, first of all, talking about our experience while we were with Nigeria. We were with the Nigerians for a very long period of time, say for about 40 years. And we felt that we can have a very good relationship, that is to cohabit with La République du Cameroon, that is French Cameroon. And that is why our forefathers willingly voted overwhelmingly to join them, so that together we can form a very healthy and friendly relationship. But that didn't work at all. It has a lot of impact on us. First of all, it started economically by destroying all our economic activities. I'll begin by the destroyed water. Water was blooming in the days of Southern Cameroon. Water was actually blooming. They were producing cheese in Wada. Wada is in womb. And they were actually exporting cheese from Wada. And they were practicing consistent farming, this subsistence farming, the type of farming that they practice here in Europe. But because they systematically destroyed all those type of things, they destroyed cooperative, they destroyed the marketing board. These are the economic impact. These are the things that they do. Then they also, politically, they dissolve our parliament. They abandoned They dismissed our prime minister. That they scraped away the post of the prime minister, the post of the prime minister. The prime minister was that is the prime minister of Southern Cameroon. And these are all some of the things, and they did all these things systematically because their aim was to gradually and systematically pluck off the feathers from our body, like I would say, pluck it off so that it leaves us helpless, so that we should be vulnerable, to make us to be vulnerable, to make us to be solely dependent on them. And that is why you see them destroying all these things. They destroy like PWD. We woke up and we grew up only hearing PWD. It's only now that I came to understand what PWD used to mean, used to do. They also destroyed Power Cam. Growing up, I heard about Power Cam. And Power Cam was able to supply electricity. In those days, there were no electricity interruption because of Power Cam, because they were so effective. But they brought in Sonel. And Sonel is now a complete mess. Even in Yaoundé, their capital, sometimes they don't have lights. So these are all some of the impact. Then again, they brainwash us mentally. They make us to believe that, to feel that for you to be part of Cameroon, you have to speak French. That French is a superior language. It is only outside that I came to understand that French is actually an inferior language. It is language that has got no place in the world. If the Republic of Cameroon had very good policy, they should rather be promoting the English language, because it is commercial language. It is language that will expose you into the rest of the world, and that will help you to trade with the rest of the world and improve the culture life of the people of the country. You see, all these things try to destroy them, and even our legal system, which is completely different from what they practice in their own part of the country, in La République du Cameroun. They also destroy it because it was an intention. They were actually doing this intentionally in order to assimilate us, while us completely as a people, destroy our identity as a people and render us vulnerable and helpless, so that we should be like this people in front of them. Those are all the type of things that have been doing. So it has always been a very, very bad relationship. Even when we've always tried to come to them so that we discuss this problem, so that together we can still live and fix a country that will work for all of us, that will work for the French-speaking Cameroonians and for us Southern Cameroonians, the former British Southern Cameroon. But just because they feel it, because of their phony mindset of francophone supremacy or patronization of the Anglophones, they refuse, because they consider us to be of any significance. Why? They refer to us like 2 cubes of sugar. So, because 2 cubes of sugar in an ocean is very, very insignificant, it will not do anything. So because of all these type of things that have been doing, it has actually affected us to the point where, so all these things, all the things that people are doing now, it is as a result of accumulating anger. It's not just because our leaders, Bala and the rest, took up and say, okay, we want federation. No, people have been accumulating all this anger, all these grievances of the past years. And even when some of our goodwill politicians try to advise them to look into this problem and solve the problem, because if they do not solve the problem, it's going to degenerate and come to the point at which we are today, to the point where I don't see any possibility whatsoever for us to ever cohabit with them again. I don't see any possibility, because me personally, God forbid, if this thing do not go through, if we do not go through to Boya, I don't miss Cameroon. I don't even like the country. I don't like the language. I don't even like our sister was talking about Makossa. I don't like Makossa again. I used to have some Makossa. I used to go onto the internet and play some Makossa and Bikusi and all those. I don't play all those musics again. I rather enjoy Nigerian and Ghanaian music and even East African music that I didn't used to play in the past, and now play them. Just so you see, that is the impact. Because if you look at what they have done, what what have we, the people of Amba, actually done to deserve everything that is happening to us today? Like the destruction of our property, the killing of our mothers in their homes, the burning of our villages. What have we done? Manjo BBC just merely went out to say and said that, okay, let's have a federation. Let's have a federal state of government. That is also what Bala asked for. Let's have a federal state of government. Let's separate the Francophone legal system from our own legal system. These are the simple things that they ask. But look at the situation in which we find ourselves today. And if somebody will come out and ask for simple things like this, and the person is being treated the way we are treated now, then what do you expect the person to do? To still come back to you? That's why sometimes when I look at all these things that they are doing, I'm just wondering that what's actually going on in their head. Do they think that they will shoot us to submission or burn our houses to submission? And at the end of the day, in 2 or 3 years later, everything will become a one indivisible Cameroon? It doesn't make sense to me. I don't see how that works. Sometimes it seems as if there is something in their head that needs to be examined seriously. So, and now, like you talk about cohabitation, I don't, to end this, I don't see how our existence for the past 57 years have actually corrupted us, has actually strained a relationship. If we actually set up a constitution and drew up the terms and conditions under which we can live and operate together, I think our relationship would have been healthier than it is today. Because all along what they've been trying to do, because they thought we were stupid, they thought we were dormant, they thought they could do anything to us and get away with it. That is why they continue to do the things that they were doing to us. And now there's just no way we can actually live together with them. If it was even possible, it's just because it's not possible, we can't even be neighbors because of all the atrocities that they have caused. So when I look at this, I'm wondering what is really happening inside their heads.
Thank you so much, Comrade Jojo. Comrade Calista, are you there?
Yes, I am. Thank you.
Okay, please, can you just say something about that? I just have a few remarks to make.
Yes, Comrade Jojo has really expatiated on that, on how the impact, living with them had on our lives, on our society, on our communities. As looking at the whole history for 57 years up to date, it has been their plan. It has been a calculated plan and strategy by the oppressor to keep us slaves to keep us slaves in our own territory, to dominate and control us in our land. Because like Comrade Jojo said, our goodwill politicians have been advising them. Weber warned them. He told them that the thing that is brewing out there, that the anger that is brewing out there, that if it is not resolved carefully, if it is not handled with care, it will result to a conflict that even if they add the French army to their army, it will not defeat their people. And that is where we are today, because they've called us all sorts of names. Le Bamenda, Le Biafra. That's because they don't have no value for us. They have no regard for our person, for our existence. And we cannot continue to tolerate that. When the teachers and lawyers started striking, one of their politicians with their superiority complex, with ignorance in the highest order, made some stupid statement like when they will be hungry, they will go back to court. But we have proven to them that this generation is destined to liberate Amba land, and we will not take anything from them anymore. Enough is enough, and 57 years of oppression, of continuous erosion of our identity and of our dignity is enough. And we will not allow that mentality, mindset of that Frenchman mindset with arrogance, where they have no respect for order, no respect for senior, no, they like centralized and controlling. They like to dominate. We respect each other, and everybody in Amberland is of great value. And that's how we treat every individual. So we cannot allow this La Republique mentality and mindset of laissez-faire, of I don't care attitudes get into us. So for this period that we have been fighting for 2 years now, it has proven that they accumulated anger, that has accumulated over this period of time have come to the maturity stage where there is no more, we can no more tolerate being second-class citizen in our land, being controlled and keep in a state of poverty. You know, we cannot continue to do this. And now is the time for mental, psychological, economical, and every kind of emancipation from such barbaric, tyrannic system. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Comrade Dora. Can you get me? I think Comrade Dora is off now. And the third question was, who is the real enemy?
I don't know. I don't know if she's going to come back. The show today is something else. I think it will be advisable for us to postpone this show because we can't continue this way. The reception is just so bad.
Yeah.
If you can get in touch with Penn, then let's just apologize to the public and maybe we'll do this.
So much technical issues. We could do it tomorrow and post it.
Yeah, if we can do it tomorrow, then fine. We'll Saturday or any other day.
Yeah,
so,
Saturday afternoon.
Today we can actually do it. I don't know if Penn is is listening to us. Hello, Comrade Penn. Yes. So I don't know. We can't continue this way. It's really ridiculous. This is supposed to be a live show.
And it's live.
Yeah. I think even what we see now is live. Viewers, we are very sorry for the technical problem. It is something that we really can't actually solve. Our technician, we can't also get in touch with our technician. So we don't know what is happening. The coordinator, who is the organizer of this program, is coming on and off. So we're sorry we can't continue. We're going to reschedule this program, and sorry. Our sincere apology for everything that is happening. We just want to call it off and say goodbye. Thank you. We will talk.
Thank you. Bye.
Okay. Bye. Yeah.
you.